how do they come into existence, what is their capacity, what is their effectiveness, their efficiency, and how do they interact with the level of the enterprises. Now, if you look at what we are observing in India, we basically observe weaknesses or failures in all three of the coordination modes. So you have weakness of hierarchy, for example, in the public agencies, but you also have clear weakness or failure of markets, and you have failure of networks, the DMOs, leading to, saying in the hierarchy case, the coverage of skill development in India is something about 4, 5, 6% of an age group. If you go to my country, it's 70%. So there is a gap. Partially, those agencies may be ineffective. In skills development, for example, you might have graduates that are not employable directly. The question of efficiency, I mean, that is well known. You put 100 rupees in the system, and how much is really coming down to the enterprise at the end of the whole pie. And often also the private-public dialogue may be flawed because maybe there's a top-down approach from the government side. But that's not the whole story. The other part of the story is that markets also have failures, are flawed. Private sector is not coming forward to deliver services in a profitable manner. PMOs are not capable of assuming their role as a service provider or a broker to service providers. And many support services still have to be provided by the public sector agencies. And then also networks, PMOs, for example, sometimes, too often maybe, they show weak governance, they show too much of individualism, sometimes I call that ecoflation. Yeah? They may be caught up in a vicious circle of low resources, low capacity, no service, low attractiveness, low resources, and then the circle starts, all from start. And also they affect their capacity, affects their quality, affects the public-private dialogue in the sense that are they really representing whom they say they're representing? Is there democratically elected gremium? Is the mandate there? Are they capable of representing the interests of the private sector? So there's a lot to be done in all three of these modes of coordination. And what we are proposing, or what we are doing in the German cooperation, is we're working at the moment in 4 projects. 2 of them are very new. One is a CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility project with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. The MSME Finance and Development project has as its main partner SIDBI. The MSME Policies and Programs or Schemes project has Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise as its partner, and the Regional Economic Development project in Uttarakhand has the partner government of Uttarakhand. We do intervene in 3 levels. One is meso policy, not the macro policy thing. It's the meso policy level policies that are geared towards certain sectors, towards certain regions. And there we talk about analysis, dialogue, and of course coming up with recommendations. Just as an example, this is not a complete list, just as examples, in the CSR project we work on national guidelines on CSR together with our partners, and we are going to work on a framework for voluntary disclosure, that is sustainability reporting by companies. In the MSME Finance and Development project, not yet graduated to the policy level. On the Policies and Programs project that we are just about to start, we have started working on analyzing policies and institutional framework for MSME promotion. And in Uttarakhand, it's 2 things. One, the positioning, the branding issue. How do you position such a state in a coherent manner? And the other one is, together with NABARD, analyzing the subsidy regime in the MSME promotion initiatives, which are geared towards the rural areas and agriculture. Because sometimes you have different windows, you have different instruments, and then you find out that they're overlapping and that the other side is trying to get the best. And hopping, yeah? So they do opportunity hopping. Yeah? They start with you have a 30% window, then they notice, there's a 50% window there, and then they're there. So the question of how do you do subsidizing in such a way that you really promote and give incentives and not disincentives, and that you do that in a coherent manner. Second one is service systems approach, looking for a best fit combination of market hierarchy and networks, addressing design, organizational, governance, financing, and service provisioning aspects. In the CSR project, it's about establishing a service system for voluntary sustainability reporting. In the finance and development project with SIDBI, we work on clusters, on value chain development. We did, for example, bring together global best practice on credit guarantee schemes that has been mentioned in the earlier session. We try to stimulate markets for business development services, BDS, and we will start very soon in this year capacity building for BMO, business membership organizations, as service providers. In the project with MSME, it's about improving the institutional setting for MSME promotion, about improving public-private dialogue through mechanisms to select and also capacity build business membership organizations, and trying to help the ministry to improve its schemes, the 41 schemes that are in that document that has been released just in the morning. In Uttarakhand, it's a viability gap funding scheme for innovative business models in agribusiness together with NABARD, and also fostering collective actions in value chains. Last, so you have the policy level, you have, say, service systems level, and then innovations on a more concrete level. We develop them, we test them together with the partners, new business models, new products or services, and then once they are tested, do the capacity building of those that are the intermediaries to roll it out. Aggregate reporting on the cluster level in the CSR case, training offers on CSR, or in the finance and development project, just as an example, loan product for innovation in energy efficiency, or business models for BDS, for business development service providers. Improving training offer of MSME attached institutes is the next project we are taking on in the line we are working with MSME. And SME-based market information for farmers, SMS-based, that is the mobile technology that also was referred to in the morning. We are working on that in Uttarakhand. And the introduction of a methodological innovation, the value chain methodology, where we have a whole toolbox developed for that. So these are just some examples on what we are working at the moment. And in a way, all this has been a starter to try to make you understand what we are doing and what we could do together. So you should talk to us if you're working on promoting responsible competitiveness of MSMEs. So it's not about competitiveness that has the cost, say, of child labor or of the environment, but responsible competitiveness of MSME. If you're working on targeted policies to strengthen the competitiveness of certain sectors or regions, that may be an interesting subject to talk about. Improving service systems to support MSME development, major topic. Then not only think in the hierarchical solutions, not only think in the market solutions, but also think in the network solutions, and there the business membership organizations, the chambers and associations have a key role to play, which is why building their capacities as partners and as service providers is one of our key stakes in the next 4 years. Innovative products and services and business models are also of interest, as are, and that is the end, innovative training solutions that build